Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Better, a show about two longtime friends trying their best, growing up, and hopefully getting better. I'm Zach Johnson.
And I'm Sam Cherry, and we finally have fixed this microphone, despite the fact that I said 2 weeks ago I got a new microphone. Turns out, hey guys, if for all you budding young audio engineers, which I am not one, but I just work in audio for this podcast. Turns out if you have an XLR microphone, you need an audio interface. I had it basically going into a phantom power box and then XLR to USB into my computer. Not how it works. Not how it's supposed to be. You need an audio interface or it sounds like doo-doo. I was really happy that because I let Brooklyn borrow my normal mic, what is now my old microphone. And I was happy because she was the guest, and so I was glad that like her audio turned out good, but mine sounded like garbage. Anyway, it's fixed. And also we've got a soundboard for our clips, which
We are really getting better.
We are actually getting better, and the audience won't be able to tell a difference, but it'll be easier for me in post because I don't have to edit it. So hopefully the episodes will come out on a more regular basis.
And when you were listening to that intro music, I was talking right through it. I felt like I could get the vibe more. Like now that I've heard it in my headphones before recording, it's like, damn, we really be out here getting better.
Yeah, we are actively becoming better at making this show. But we have a packed show tonight. Lots to talk about, but Zach, you texted me and said you will not talk about shit.
Yeah, so I am So Sam was telling me all the things he wanted to talk about, and then I said, "Shut up," because the Bachelor ABC's Instagram just posted their introductions to the new Bachelorette contestants, and the things so what you can see is there's a picture of a gentleman and there's like 3 fun facts interspersed around them, and they are the saddest fun facts that one could ever read. So let's meet Mike here. Mike 31, gym owner, does not like dessert. That's his fun fact. His fun fact. And we're moving over here to Austin 25, a real estate investor who wants to get a few tattoos and loves his white shoes.
Austin, hey, bud, what's holding you back?
And this other thing is loves to tan at the beach. It's just like they asked a bunch of robots like if they could think through what a human would do. Moving right along.
The next one does sound like a robot. Marty does sound like an actual robot.
one of my favorites, Marty 26, who the way to his heart is through a good bottle of cologne and prefers to watch movies indoors.
Weird. Incredibly weird preference, because that's the main... What he's saying is, his fun fact is he doesn't like drive-in movies.
What series of questions could you, a producer, possibly ask someone to where they're just like, I prefer watching movies indoors, thank you.
It was more like they filled out a questionnaire and then later on they came up with like, oh, let's do fun facts. Like they did not ask these people for fun facts. They filled out a questionnaire. I mean, it has to be, right? Prefers watching movies indoors. That's not a fun fact. It's barely even a fact. Like it's barely even a preference. Like, most of the time you're going to watch movies indoors. Like you had one bad date where you sat on a blanket or something. Like what happened that you don't, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer cold sushi. What the fuck are you talking about?
Moving along, we have Christian, who loves parades, dreams of driving the Batmobile, and rocked a faux hawk in his younger days. This guy is living a Tom Hanks Big type situation where he is a 13-year-old boy who has aged up 25 years or whatever and is like trying to be like, I'm a man.
Well, yeah, because when he says faux hawk, what he means is like he put suds in his hair and made a faux hawk in the mirror. That's what he means by rocked a faux hawk.
Yeah, and just like the dreams of driving a Batmobile and loves parades.
Loves parades sucks so bad. That's such a horrible. I mean, that's a very like Massachusetts vibe, but in like a Stephen King kind of way. That's Maine. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a very like northeastern murderer vibe. Loves parades.
Loves parades. Like if you would ask me like it would take so long for me to give you an opinion that I have on parades. Like
Oh
it
my
would
gosh,
take
it wouldn't even be. Yeah.
it
I
would
mean, I
take
would say that
so
we've
long.
done almost 100 episodes and we have not once talked about our preference
Never
on
even once
parades.
talked about parades. Not
Never
once
come
talked
up.
about a parade. And I have tons of good parade stories. Not once
Yeah.
have I brought up parades. Moving
Not
along
even
here,
thought about it, not even considered it.
we have Hunter, who has never ridden a horse and has a parakeet named Zazu. So he's kind of wacky. Kind of a
Oh,
wacky
see, I
guy,
just
huh?
have the first four. Where are
No,
the... Oh,
I've
they're
moved
in the
down.
replies. In the
I'm down
replies.
here with Connor C, who loves his puka shell necklaces growing up,
God,
and shares a birthday with Matthew McConaughey.
what a fun fact, Connor. No, wait a minute. Loves breakfast burritos and blueberry... What? Okay, thanks,
This
Connor.
says loves breakfast burritos and blueberry pancakes. That is
Cool. Okay,
uh
now Connor B, on
moving
the other
on to
hand...
there that was Connor C. Let's talk about Connor B for a second, who is
Who
the
are these
proud
men?
owner of a tux.
What? What kind of fun fact is that? He owns a tux?
Like it just and also claims he can eat cereal faster than anyone. Claims he
Fucking
can
insane.
eat cereal. I have never been like, I can kick your ass at eating cereal. I truly can. Like, it is such a leisurely, non-competitive food that it's like, you probably could. You probably can eat cereal
Dreams.
faster than everybody because you're the only one that's thinking, like, I'm gonna kick your ass and I'm gonna eat this cereal. And it's it's such a little kid thing to say or also a robot thing to say.
It's so okay. Dreams of going to Italy and eating pasta. Dream big, Connor B. You could just do. I mean, I understand not everybody can like go to Italy and shit. Like I
Well,
get.
hey,
I've never been to Italy.
hey, you're barking up the wrong tree because you're probably gonna run into this guy because he is from Nashville.
Fuck. But here's what I'm saying. And eating pasta. Like not going to Italy and seeing the Colosseum. Going to Italy and seeing the eating pasta in Italy. Like, these people seem like they're written by fucking AI. Proud owner of his own tux. What? What is wrong with you? What's a fun
right.
fact? I own a tuxedo. I'm sorry, you cannot be on the television show.
All right.
What?
All right, just a
Are
few
there
more.
any more? Oh, okay.
There's a few more. There's Trey,
Jesus Christ.
26, who his favorite activity is brunch and book club. Fine. Loves the harmonica and is irrationally terrified of piranhas.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
down in the comments. I found Jeff. Jeff lives for good Italian food. Him and Connor C are gonna get along. All animals love him. Doubt it. The
all
man has a
animals
hell
love
of a chin. I mean, he is a just rock
yeah.
solid chin. He wishes he could be a CIA agent. Weird. Weird
Yeah.
thing to wish, guy.
No, but the weirdest part about it is if you did you see his occupation?
Uh-oh.
His occupation
Maybe he is a CIA agent.
His occupation just says skin salesman.
No, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No,
Oh no, Hannibal Lecter, they let him in. They let him into the Bachelorette.
they did write that on purpose. It just says skin salesman.
It just says skin salesman.
It says Jeff 31, Jersey City, New Jersey, skin sales. Zach, you've broken me. It says Zach, now usually it takes at least 40 minutes to get to this point in the show, but Zach, it says skin salesman on my telephone. What does that mean?
Certainly does.
What does he do?
I don't know. He's they typed
Where
it
does
on
he get
purpose.
the
I mean,
skin?
we're
Who is he
talking about
selling
it.
it
Like,
to?
you know, I've never once talked about the contestants beforehand, but damned if I'm not talking about Jeff the skin salesman.
Wishes he could be a CIA agent, New Jersey skin salesman. Okay. I know we had a bunch planned, but I really feel like this might be. There's Gabriel.
I'm
Not
gonna
a
make
skin
I'm gonna
salesman.
make
No,
you
that's-
positive. I will go straight over to. I'm gonna try to find him on the Instagram post just to make sure that he is in fact a skin salesman.
Okay, Garrett's fun fact is hates tangy foods. What the fuck are you talking about, Garrett? Has a German Shepherd named Archer. Tight. Plays goalie at the local hockey league. Okay, Brendan. Loves
Greg
tearing up the
dreams
dance
of
floor.
seeing LeBron James play basketball
Dork.
in person. That
You can just
dream big, Greg.
Okay, I'm sorry. Someone has posted in the comments a three fun facts from our favorite show Next by MTV, and it's
Mm.
Kyle 19. His three fun facts are nicknamed Nugget, loves Hannah Montana, cries all the time. Kyle 19, man, I hope you won that one. That's pretty rad.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, it is.
Okay, Landon 25 from Dallas, Texas. Christmas lights make him very happy. What the fuck is what? Who are these people?
Dude, it's like they grew these guys in a lab and they just like
Yes.
set that like they downloaded some like personalities into them and just sent them out. Or that they are getting absolutely destroyed by some wayward social media person who is like, I'm
Right.
gonna wreck these dudes' lives.
Oh, I see Trey irrationally terrified of piranhas. Oh my gosh. This is the most insane. Okay, no, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Here's a picture of Alex from JoJo's season. Alex, 25. It does say former child from
I think maybe
Oceanside,
it's like
CA.
they've edited out actor
This has
or
to be
something.
Photoshop, certainly, right? Like it can't be maybe former child star. It does say former child. Who knows?
Yeah,
Skin set.
this is like low grade, like not even Tinder worthy stuff. But I did find Jeff
Their
on the
CAA
Instagram, and
boy.
it does say skin salesman.
Okay, so no further information about what it means to be a skin salesman. Like who is he getting the
Absolutely,
skin from? Who is he giving the
absolutely
skin
not.
to? Skin salesman. Okay, well, I'm gonna just set my phone down. That's
Yeah,
fucking
maybe. I
crazy
mean,
what you just told
it
me.
might be a situation where like there are people that
Like skin
need
grafts,
some.
but you don't need to. That's not a
Yeah, but you're not a
sales thing.
salesman.
Yeah, they just
You're
like
a doctor.
yeah, it's like a heart salesman. Like no, they just get
Y-
donated and they get
Yeah, yeah, you don't go to the
right.
store. Like you don't
Or is it
find
like a
some.
tannery thing? Is he like selling like pelts?
Yeah, I don't.
Is he a revenant? What?
I don't know,
Jeff
man.
25 skin salesman, huh?
Yeah, but I'm really excited. So
Boy,
that was a very brief reality check. That was a reality check in.
oh,
And
that's great.
yeah, definitely.
That's our outro music for reality check.
Ooh, oh, wow. See, this is the kind of content that you get whenever you have a soundboard. Just right in the middle of the damn episode.
Just right in the middle of the damn episode. I do have to figure out how to get better at using a soundboard. Not like the functionality, but like when? Like I know it wasn't then. Like right
Mm-hmm.
then, that was the wrong moment. But I don't really
Yeah, yeah,
know
yeah,
our show's so zibba zabba. I don't know when I'm gonna put these clips in.
Exactly. Just definitely have one that has like a oh yeah and something like that.
I'll put that. I don't have any joke ones in yet, but
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
be sure to add that in like
Definitely a fart one.
the rap
Definitely
horn.
yeah, yes, definitely the rap horn. Yeah, so either of us makes an amazing point. Um
Yeah.
one where you've just isolated your audio from you saying skin salesman over and over. I think that one's
Skin salesman.
it's like, hey everybody, we're talking about The Bachelor, and it's just the clip of you saying skin salesman.
Jeff the skin salesman. I'm sure I can do that. I'm sure I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
make that happen.
but that's all. I mean, now that that is out of my system, I just needed you to see that. I needed that
Jeez,
to
you're so
be just
right.
off into the world, with just the saddest fun facts in the world, culminating in a
No.
skin salesman. But
Oh
I
my
think
god.
really hitting its stride with a person who loves watching movies indoors,
That one's
which
good.
is
That one's very good. Hates parades is also good, but loves watching
no
movies
loves
indoors
parades.
is loves whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
Loves parades is a. I'm sorry. Yes, movies indoors.
Yeah,
Very, very,
yeah, no,
very good.
definitely. I feel like with someone saying they hate parades, there's definitely something more interesting there than someone saying they love parades. If you say you love parades,
Right.
it's like, well, you're a fucking kid. Like, what?
There's a story behind hates
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
parades.
But it's like hates parades. It's like, oh shit, something's going down.
You know what would be a great okay, let me give you two. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never go to a parade. That's good.
That's good.
We'll never go to a parade again. I think that's a very good
That
fun fact. We'll
yes,
never go to a
definitely.
parade again. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm
Something,
interested.
something's there. Yeah, yeah,
Something
yeah.
happened between you and
And
the
just
big
like
Snoopy
over the
float.
course of the show, because they probably already filmed it or whatever, I don't even know, but like just never ever addresses it.
Or slowly, like that's his character arc is learning what the fuck happened at the
Mm.
parade. And for his nightmare date, they take him to a parade, and he's like,
Yeah,
"I
yeah,
say
yeah.
never again."
I trusted you.
I trusted you. Also, funny enough, right after I said I fixed my microphone, I noticed that it was facing the wrong way. So those first like 2 minutes, the audio might have sounded real weird,
Mm.
but maybe it
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
Maybe it
yeah.
did. I don't know.
Maybe it did. I think it
Okay.
sounded fine.
Well, we gotta keep on rolling. In fact, we're gonna go to our next segment.
Monroe wins the draw. Shot by Irwin, misses the net. Weber keeps it in at the line. Watson scores! Traffic in front. Austin Watson through the puck towards the net.
Yes, that is I watch
That
hockey,
was
and so
that was
should you.
chaos. I loved it.
um, so the Nashville Predators have got. Also, I made that intro about 5 minutes before we got on here, so I'm definitely
Oh,
gonna
that's
rework
excellent.
it.
In that, well, it's funny that you did make that intro because it has now become I watch hockey and so should you, a segment I started, mind you, and
Yeah,
now it's been completely co-opted. But I'm here
yeah.
for it.
Well, we're in the playoffs, so suck it.
Yeah.
So we are in the playoffs. We beat the Hurricanes last week in our like last win that we needed to clinch our space in the playoffs. While this doesn't always happen because of the weird season and the fact that we just only play like 5 teams until I think the third round of the playoffs, we played the Hurricanes twice in a row. We lost them the first 5 times in the season, but then we played them twice in a row. We won once, which got us into the playoffs. And then we won another time, which was the last game of the season and will be the main game that I talk about today. But then we now are in a 7-game series. I'll quickly explain this with the Hurricanes again. So we played them
Mm.
on Monday, and we are playing them again tonight, which is why you and I are recording early, even though that means nothing to
Even though
the
the audience
listeners.
has no idea what that means.
Yeah, but we
They
are
can, they can
recording early
feel
so that I can
they
go to
can
the game.
feel the energy a bit. It
Yes.
feels like earlier energy.
It feels like a rushed energy because I have an out, right? It's like, oh no, I'm at 6:30, I'm bouncing, because game starts at 7. So anyway, but the last game of the season was also an important milestone because it was the last game for our best number one boy, our goalie for 17 years, Pecorine.
Damn.
17 years. Can you believe that? Okay,
Seven. Yeah.
so Pecorine is from Finland, and he originally played with this team called the Ulan. I looked this up, and I still am not gonna fucking get it. Ulun Quartet? No idea.
Sure.
Starting in 2002. Now I'm not gonna bore with y'all the stats because I know that you want the human stories. All right, this
I want
guy,
the human one.
he is the heart and soul of the Nashville Predators. He is one of the best goalies in NHL history. Okay, you can go look up all of his stats. But he is by far the best goalie in Nashville Predators history. I mean, he's been there from the beginning and the rise of this team. Like, we are now, I think it's either our seventh total or seventh consecutive um, playoff uh, time in the playoffs.
Hmm.
And Pecorine has been there for every single one of them. He is a hero, and I met him in a bar one time, and it's the most famous person I've ever met. I know, right?
What's the story
I
behind
did.
that? This is the human element that I care about.
Well, we were out. We were out. Me and some friends.
Me
This
and
is years ago.
Pecorine.
Me and my boy Pecorine. No, me and some friends were out, and we heard a rumor around town that Pecorine was at this secret bar called Noel, the one that you and I tried to go to that one time.
Oh right, yeah.
So we make our way down to Noel, and it's a Christmas themed bar in like the bottom of this hotel. That's a secret bar, so there's like a guy at the door, but it like doesn't look like a bar at all. And they let you in and blah blah. It's not really. It's kind of an open. I mean, everyone knows about it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
bar, you know. It's not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
secret.
I
Um,
googled it, so that's how I knew about it.
right. But it is technically, but on some sort of level, it is a secret bar. So so we're like, we gotta go. And we get there, and there he was. The old Pecorine. So I said hi because he's a citywide hero.
Yeah.
And it was the most famous person I've ever met in my life. He seemed really
Yeah.
nice. But anyway, so he got drafted by the Preds in 2004 and started playing in 2005, 2006, right? He played with the Milwaukee Admirals for like a season or two, but they're like our AHL team, so they're like our minor leagues. So he's basically he played for a Finnish team for like 2 years, and then he has, if you count the Admirals, which kind of, he has only ever played for the Predators, right, for his entire career. He rose to prominence with an outstanding goaltending, but his career was almost cut short in the summer of 2006 after his first season when several, listen to this, unknown assailants attacked him on the street.
This lives in the same sort of zone as I don't know if you heard, but in the documentary, this is I Watch Sports and So Should Do. It's not just I Watch Hockey and So Should Do. In the documentary, The Last Dance, Michael Jordan, well, very famously, Michael Jordan had a flu game, and like the way he told the story in the Last Dance was that a bunch of like rough-looking dudes served him a pizza, and he didn't have he had got food poisoning, and so. Like, the fantasy of this situation is that a bunch of criminal types could get close enough to Michael Jordan to give him a pizza. Like, absolutely not.
And then they poisoned him with his evil pizza. Yeah, but Pecorino was not like a huge deal when this happened. I mean, this was his second. It was after his first season in the NHL. He was like not a famous person. But he actually dislocated his shoulder and had to sit out the first 4 months of the 2006 season. But after that, he did great, and went on to be absolutely the greatest goalie we've ever had. One of the best goalies. I mean, pretty often the best goalie currently playing, but one of the best goalies in NHL history. He led the Predators to their first ever Stanley Cup playoff series. Series is the word I was looking for. Playoff series in 2011. So he has been there for every playoff series the Predators have ever been in. Like every time they've gone to the Stanley Cup, every time they've been to the playoffs, he has been there. We have never won a playoff series, but he can't be the whole team. But Peke, in fact, he does not just stop goals. He is one of 12 goalies in history to score a goal. And guys, I really recommend you look up Pekarine's goal. Thankfully, it was against the Blackhawks, which I love.
And it was revenge.
It was revenge. It was revenge for those alleged assailants that I'm alleging were Blackhawks fans that beat him up.
Oh, his name is Pekka. I thought his his last name was Pecorine.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, Well, we used to have a guy named PK Subban, so between PK and Pekka, it was a little confusing. But
I was looking him up, and it was like, oh, you mean this guy's whole last name? And I was like, oh.
Yeah, Pekka. His first name is Pekka. His name is Pecorine. So this goal is fucking insane. So it's not just a goalie goal. He scores it from behind the net. So it's the end of the game, and the Blackhawks have an empty net. So usually at the end of the game, if the team is down, they will pull their goalie out just so they have another man on the ice to try to score. So it's kind of a last-ditch effort. But like what happened to the Predators on Monday, also we lost on Monday. I don't know if I said that. But I'll explain the playoffs here in a second. Like what happened on Monday, you take your goalie out, your net's wide open, the other team has a really good chance to score on you. So Peke, it's not a power play, but sure, takes the puck and launches it from behind the net, and it gets past every player on the ice. It flies past everyone and skates into the net. And I think the final score was like 5-3 or 5-2. It's an amazing goal. I mean, it is so cool. And the fact that only 12 goalies have ever scored, right? Unbelievable. You have to go watch it.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing foosball and your goalie makes a goal. Like you have to launch past everybody. It's the same.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So anyway, on not Monday night, it was last week. I don't remember that. It was probably a Thursday. Anyway, we are playing against the Hurricanes, right? The Carolina Hurricanes. And while it's not set in stone whether or not this was his last game, his contract is up at the end of the season. And so we come into the game assuming this is Peke's last regular season game and probably his last game starting because Soros, who is our other goalie, who's also incredibly good, is going to be starting during the playoffs, right? So it's kind of Peke's last time to start. But everyone knew, like, okay, this really is it. When they saw his partner, Erica Parko, Parkko, Parko, who he has a son with. So Erica Parko and his son were there, like, at the warm-ups, which they never go to games, right? And they, like, took this really nice picture together on the ice where he's looking through the ice at his son, and, like, there were reports that he was just, like, weeping during I heard that on a podcast, and I'm not sure if they were joking or not, but they said that he was just, like, weeping during warm-ups when he saw his kid there. Cannot confirm if that's true or not. So it was not set in stone that he was going to retire, but when they saw Erica and his son, it became clear to everyone, like, okay, this is it. Like, this is his last game. Like, he knows it, and he, you know, it's not official, but, you know. So in his final game against the Hurricanes, he saved 30 shots and got ending in a 5-0 shutout. He has had 60 shutouts in his career, ranking him 19th in the NHL. And also as a goalie, that was his 369th career win, making him also 19th in the NHL for that statistic.
Man.
Before the game was even over, the fans gave him a standing ovation, and he took a victory lap. Once the game ended, he took a victory lap around the ice to thunderous applause, and the whole team came out and gave him a big hug. The coach, John Hines, called him the best player to ever wear a Preds jersey and said that as soon as he retires, they will be hanging his jersey in the rafters. So this one's to you, Peke. You're an amazing goalie. Thank you for all the amazing games. I've heard a rumor, although I do not know if this is true, that next year he is going to spend one last season playing hockey, going back to his original team in Finland and retiring with them. So playing one last season with them in Finland, and then retiring.
Man, and so when was this last game that he played?
Last week.
Man, so who's in the middle of the playoffs? Is that, I guess?
No, it was the end of the playoffs. Just started Monday, so I guess the transition to talk about the playoffs. I think it's 3 rounds of 7-game series. So you have best 4 out of 7. So we lost the first game against Carolina, so it's 1-0, right? If we win this game, we'll be tied 1-1. First team to get 4 wins moves on to the next round. And then it's just like a March Madness, just a bracket.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. But every round, instead of playing one game, you're playing best 4 out of 7.
Yeah. And
so
like that's NBA final rules as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Pekka's this game that I'm talking about against the Hurricanes was the last game of the regular season. It's a little confusing because all of these games are against the Hurricanes, but now we are playing the Hurricanes in the series, the first round of the series. But that's the playoffs. So Monday and today is game 2. So Soros, our other goalie, is starting for the playoffs.
Okay, so this is game 1 happening tonight?
Game 2 is happening today. Game 1 we already lost.
Okay, so game 2, but this is the intro. This is the first thing in the bracket.
Yeah, this is round 1. Yeah, this is the first round of the
game 2, round 1. Got it. Okay, I'm fully there. I know exactly what's happening.
Correct.
So,
so I will be keeping you up to date. I'm probably going to try to get this episode out on Thursday just to keep the fans abreast of how things are going. We can't, if we're following a tournament, we can't exactly have a 1-week delay as I usually do. So I'll probably try to get these episodes out sooner in case, hey, maybe we'll get shut out. Maybe we'll blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But here's hoping. My
What's
boys
the
will make it all the way
prediction?
to.
This is you being cemented in like this is your prediction for the test of time. What's gonna happen?
I'm a real fucking fan. We're going all the way, baby. We're winning that shit. We're winning the Stanley Cup is my prediction. But if we don't, I just want to get the episodes out so that people can hear them, follow along with the drama in real
so
time.
the people that do listen to Get Better for both Bachelor and hockey related things, they're like, I don't have to tune into both of these. I can just tune into one podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
My one stop shop.
Yeah, those people who, other than us, as Brooklyn said, other people who are as weird as we are, which apparently there are none. People who are interested in both The Bachelor and NHL hockey, yes, they can tune into this podcast. But yeah, that's what I got for this week's I Watch Hockey and So Should You, the segment that I've stolen from Zach.
Great. I'm very excited to see how things pan out. Even though you introduced me to a person and then immediately wrote them out of the series, for me at least.
Well, I wanted to do a couple more. So I wanted to Rocco Grimaldi had a really good game the other day or a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I'll do a segment on Rocco Grimaldi, and then I forgot. Forsberg is amazing. There's always time to do one on Forsberg. But I just hadn't gotten to it yet. I hadn't written it yet. And then when Pekka had his last game, I was like, well, it would be insane to do player spotlights and not do Pecorine. So I guess the first one has to be him because he just retired. It was like, well, I mean, I gotta do one on him, and this is the time to do it. And plus with the playoffs, I figured this segment's going to be a little more regular. So yeah, I might do an active player like Grimaldi or Forsberg.
Yeah, and I like the idea of if they do lose in the playoffs, and this segment's going to shit. There is no other person that you'll be talking about. There's no other team where it's listen, who gives an absolute hell about these other clowns.
Wait, am I talking about the fucking Penguins? No.
Exactly.
No, if we lose in the playoffs, you will not hear about.
It's not even I watch hockey and so should you. It's root for my team or get out.
I'm gonna root for my team, and that's what's happening. No. I mean, if we lose in the playoffs, then you'll hear about this segment. I don't know when. Next season, you'll just
the Avalanche can blow ass, and
it's
so
called
and so can the Red Wings.
Yeah, exactly. No, it will not come back up until there's more Preds news. It's obviously just a Predator section, and that's fine. But
framing it in the way of making it seem like this is the only just way to consume hockey is a good way to indoctrinate some new fans. Yeah.
Well, I see. Maybe in the off season I'll do a review of the movie Miracle, about the Miracle on Ice.
Yes, and then just rewrite it to where it was the Preds that happened to.
No. But I haven't seen Miracle, and I really want to. Maybe I can do the Mighty Ducks franchise. Yeah. Just in the off season while I'm starved for hockey content.
I'll do Space Jam and Like Mike, and
exactly.
And other basketball movies. I don't know, Coach Carter.
Yeah, but speaking of which, we got to keep it moving because I got a game to go to. So, would you like to get to our next segment?
Our next segment is going to be a very brief recommendation station.
All right, and what is that?
Well, the recommendation station is actually following up on one that you just watched, and we can have a conversation about it. And that is The Mitchells versus the Machines. A few weeks ago, I talked about the Sony animated movie Mitchells versus the Machines, which is produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who have worked on a lot of really transformative projects, namely Into the Spider-Verse, as well as Cloud with a Chance of Meatballs and Lego Movie. And they have partnered again with Sony with a new writer and director, but are producing this one. And just ask, what did you think about it?
I loved it. I mean, it was fun. It was kinetic. I thought it had a lot of heart and personality. At the end of the day, I think a very simple story, which is refreshing to see. I mean, it was very, the turn in the middle. Well, I guess this can be a spoiler-free recommendation, but. And by turn, I just mean the story beat. It's not like a twist. But anyway, there was just the way the plot was handled. It was a very tight very very tight plot and wonderful, great put together. I love to
Hmm.
see all the little tech stuff that everyone marveled at in Spider-Verse put to good use.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
the little like those line indents and the sort of hand-drawn elements that were
Hmm.
such a bit that they invented, for Spider-Verse,
Hmm.
being used again. I thought it was. I mean, obviously, I like Spider-Verse better because it's a more emotional film and it's got more like punch to it.
Hmm.
But
Quite
as far as
literally.
like yeah, as far as like a fun family film, can't do much better. Great movie.
Yeah, no,
Loved it.
I completely agree that yeah, a lot of the things are just like the things I really appreciate in movies like this is even if like I didn't enjoy like all the pieces of the story, like just in from like animators finding their voice in a way of like as I said to you last time, which is they have a really great way of animating emotion in a way that is I think just not really done before, where when the main character when she's feeling something like it's almost like it shoots off of her and like the things that are shooting off of her are like little hand drawn things that her as a character is drawing like in these notebooks you see her with and yeah just the way that's done and I feel like it's a way of kind of like bridging the gap in something that I feel like movies aren't traditionally all that good at, or like something that is held back in the medium. Like, so
Sure.
when
It's not a
you're
book.
writing, exactly. So, like in a book, you can really understand all the characters' internal monologues and like dialogues and things. And like, when you adapt that to screen, it's really hard because you have to convey so much internal processing just in like looks, and you can't really have the characters saying everything they think and feel out loud in a
In a
way
good
that
movie, at
seems
least. Yeah.
yeah, in a yeah, in a way that
I mean,
seems
bad movies
not
do it all the
jarring.
time, but
Exactly, that's true. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Yeah, and I really feel that
from my perspective, the Jedi are the ones who are wrong. Cool writing. Good
that's
job.
yeah, yeah. Cool writing. Good job. Good, good, good. We can roast on Hayden Christensen all day, but that was he didn't improv that. Like
He
that
didn't
was
write
in
that
this.
one.
Yeah.
It's old George
He's like,
himself.
yeah, I really feel like my character should say this. Yeah, but I feel like it did a really good job of bridging the gap and in a way that didn't really feel jarring because it was her story and you were seeing it through her lens. So yeah, and it did not seem like it was out of left field at all in the way that they were able to um, make you feel what she was feeling just through little animation cues like that was just really, really brilliant. And I was just really, really impressed by the movie. Two thumbs up. So yeah, my thumb and then Sam's thumb for the Mitchells versus the Machines. And
I love it. I
that
love
is
it.
that is the quickness of this recommendation station. And we're going to conclude the show with something that I think is incredibly important, which is recently, as recent as a few days ago, Sam and I follow a lot of the same Twitter people on our secret Twitters, and one that I'd sent him was from a Twitter that just kind of points out when people on the right wing side are getting in their feelings about
Is this right
just the
wing cope?
general. I think it was right wing cope, but yeah. So the one I sent was it's a billboard, and on the billboard there is a hat, and the hat looks like a hat from the Mask movies, just
Oh
like this
yeah.
really ostentatious hat with like a feather in it,
It's
and
orange. It's
it's
like the same hat.
yeah, it is. It is a very ostentatious hat, and there is some text, and the text is written in every single font imaginable,
So crazy how
and
many
it
fonts are
says,
in this.
"Warriors of Justice, we ask you, please stop trying to cancel the air that we breathe, for we live in America, the land of the free. One thing for certain, you will not cancel me!" Exclamation point. Once again, in every font imaginable, sometimes breaking in color in between the lines of text themselves.
It's one
So
of the strangest billboards I've ever seen. Although the funny thing
so
is, I can't believe we hadn't talked about this because I've seen this in real life.
so I sent this to Sam, and the business is located in Nashville, where the South office is, and I said, "Please find this for me." And then Sam's response was, "Not only have you seen this, but you know more about this than I thought you would have."
I think I sent to you, how have we not talked about Hatworks? Hatworks, it's HATWRKS. It is a hat store. I want you guys to keep that in mind. This is a hat store, which outside of Hatworks, didn't know existed. But it's a hat store on 8th. I've seen it 100 times. And of course, I immediately took notice because the guy who owns Hatworks is incredibly pilled. Oh, my wife's coming home. Hello. The guy who owns Hatworks is incredibly pilled. Like, they have been progressively losing their mind, and I think really culminating in this billboard.
Really losing their minds and their understanding of like graphic design, if they had it to begin with.
So I'll send you these pictures, Zach, I won't send them in the robot, but I'll send them to you later. But I first noticed Hatworks at the beginning of the pandemic when they put all these billboards up, like all these signs up on their on their building that said, "All jobs are essential. Get us back to work." And I was just like, "Oh, cool. I agree.
Fine, yeah.
All jobs are essential." Okay. I mean, I'm not like anti-lockdown. I think you guys all know that. But
it
fine,
could have
whatever.
been, the way it was worded could have been like, in context, it's probably a very pilled thing to say.
Yes.
But out of context,
I knew
it's like, whoa, is someone like trying to overthrow something?
Now I knew.
We trying to get a workers' rights?
I knew that it was a right-wing talking point. Like, I understood just seeing it because I'd heard other people say it. But, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, but you do have a point on that one.
Yeah, pretty mild.
All workers are essential. Most jobs are not. Like managers at coffee shops. Anyway, so this continued for a while. Let me read you from the September 1st Facebook post from the official Hatworks the Hat Store Facebook. No, wait, I'm sorry. I need to do August 1st. So in August 28th, they put up a new sign, several signs, in fact, all over their building. And it's of our boy Donald Trump with a cowboy hat photoshopped on it. And it says
good.
Trump 2020. They also bought a billboard with the same photo, and it said, "Go get 'em, cowboy." And the Facebook post reads, "New signage up today. Go get 'em, cowboy. We've got nothing to lose. Keep in mind this is a hat store. If the globalists win, it's all over anyway. Even if Trump wins, the battle will continue. They aren't going away.
Gosh.
But I do believe he is our only hope. Stand up for what you believe in. Be prepared to fight. There has been no other time in our lives that I believe." Oh, that I believe. Is what
my
the hat store said
gosh. I'm on their Instagram and their Facebook, and there is already just so much excellent content happening.
Well,
here.
I'm sure you found other ones,
like
but I'm going to go ahead and skip to the September 1st post, which has...
please.
It has one logo that it's like a torch with I don't know what this is, but it's probably a logo they don't like. I just don't know what the logo is. Maybe it's Amnesty International. I don't know who this is. Anyway, then they've got the Antifa logo, the hammer and sickle, the Socialist Workers Party, the like Black Power fist, the Democrat donkey, and the Republican elephant. So that is the picture, and then
the Avengers assembled. Got everybody.
Putting together a team, and the text is, "How is it that hundreds of corporations, organizations, and sports teams in this country can speak out for what they support, but people that support Trump are not allowed without a public execution?" See, keep in mind the guy got like 60 million votes, but apparently supporting him gets you publicly executed. See, I think that's a clear sign that all is not well in the world, and that is why I choose to speak out. The hate is outstanding from a political movement that is supposed to be the complete opposite of how they act. Some folks need to look hard in the mirror, but I am not going to convince anyone of anything. Yeah, because you're a fucking hat store. This is
I like to imagine that you said
because
you said hate there a moment ago. I like to imagine
Yeah.
that hate with HAT was capitalized.
HAT. Oh, like hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately not. It is just hate all in caps. You did get the all caps part right, but the E is also capitalized. No, not going to convince anyone of anything. All right. I just want to exercise my American freedom of choice while we still have it. If I did not think it was in jeopardy, I would not bother. I can tell you this is no fun. For those... Okay, sorry. I stuttered because there's a period. It says, I can tell this is no fun, period.
Oh, no, I can tell you this is no fun. Like, it's just
that's
a
how it
weird
ends.
inclusion.
For those practicing the canceling of opposing opinions, your time will come when you are on the other side. So he doesn't really explain why. I guess this is just an enemies list, is the picture here. And then that is...
No, it's the
again,
people that
I
are going to
remember
publicly execute them.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, guy? And then, of course, it culminated with the very bizarre billboard that I think is on 8th Street. Yeah, the guy running Hatworks has progressively started just really losing their goddamn minds.
The way it's written is so, like, it's written as if it's supposed to be some sort of like poem or something, because it says warriors of justice. Like, is social justice warrior, is that too far, or is that copyright? Like, why didn't you just say that? We ask you, please stop trying to cancel the air we breathe, maybe, for we live in America, land of the free. One thing is certain, you will not cancel me. No, it's not a poem. It's nothing. But it's like, it's spaced out as if it's supposed to be stylized.
Yeah, well,
like where the sidewalk ends or something.
And the changing colors and fonts just seem completely arbitrary. I mean, it seems like this guy is like losing his mind in real time. The guy who owns the hat store, from the hat store account.
This could not have. The hat is so random too. Like, it's not an American hat. It literally looks like a hat that like you would wear, like if you were like dressing up as a gangster for Halloween.
Right? Yeah. It's so bizarre. And what I think is funniest about the billboard is, like, I knew about Hatworks and had been sort of following them for a while. I really love the idea, like you, or just someone driving down the street, of seeing this billboard without the context and being like, what happened at the hat store? I mean, I am also wondering what happened at the hat store, but like
2020 was a tough year.
This dude's, and also it's funny that it's such like a weird, antiquated, like it's the cobbler, the town cobbler is like a weird right-wing reactionary. Like, I guess that makes sense that would be who it is, but the fact that the hat store guy is like so, like, I mean, not out of his mind, but just like, I don't know.
The thing that I think is the most puzzling, like, what is the market for these hats? Like, I looked at some of the hats on their website, and they're mostly like old, like they're like stylized like fedoras or like fancy dress hats, or like I'm stepping out on the town and I am dressed like a jackass hat.
Yeah.
And like, is your market so insulated that the people that are coming in are just like, hell yeah, brother? Like,
yeah, that's the thing is like, no, but that's what I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's like a virtue signaling, like a we just got canceled thing, where it's like your demographic is the demographic that wouldn't care anyway. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's one of those things where he's doing a play where he's like, oh, if I just keep talking about getting canceled, people who hate cancel culture will flock to my store.
Buy a $200 Stetson, like that is
dude.
So
people spend
weird.
So much dumb money when they. I mean, you've seen all that shit where it's like, I saw some great post where it was like, they were someone was trying to quote unquote cancel Burger King, and this guy was like, I ate Burger King every day, but I'm gonna make it twice a day just to make you mad.
Yeah,
it's like,
we've talked about that's a way
dog?
to get your bag is to
Yeah, and so maybe that's what it is, because it's like
maybe like that's our like the boys will not be silenced. I don't know.
Yes, okay, yeah, that'll be our next episode. The boys will not be canceled.
The boys will not be canceled.
But that's the thing is like, I mean, of course, like everybody's made their jokey jokes, and it's a pretty easy of like,
Yeah.
hey dog, what are you talking about? Like what you're describing is people don't like you because you're annoying, and but you're framing it. I mean, that's the new PC culture thing, right? It's like the new political correctness gone mad is like, my nephew doesn't like it when I say the N-word. You can't say anything anymore. And it's like, well, yeah, it's because you're being an asshole. Like, yeah, actually, people just don't like you. That's not covered by free speech.
Yeah, you're getting called out for your shitty behavior.
Or just like people don't like you. Like you just or like you're, those guys who will like intentionally misgender people, like to pwn the lib. That's what's crazy is like, it's equal parts like, oh, I want to pwn the libs, I want to make them mad, but then the libs get mad, or just like normal people get mad because you're being a dick on purpose, and then they're like, you can't say anything. Like, well, you made people mad on purpose, and turns out they fucking hate you for it. Like, because you're making them mad on purpose.
Yeah, and the things that make people mad are different. They're like your vision of what makes people mad has changed. Yeah.
Yeah, or just like you're being a dork and you're annoying. Like it's just like you're annoying
that's
and
what
you
we
think
should start communicating. It's like, I'm not canceling you for what you said. I'm canceling you because you're a dork.
I'm not canceling you. I just don't like you. I personally don't like you, and no one else does.
It's that one scene from Social Network. It's like, I'm breaking up with you, Mark, but it's because you're an asshole. Like, it's not because you're smart.
Yes, exactly. That was, hey, good movie with a good lesson, right? Like, it's just, but yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's
don't
just like,
trust Mark Zuckerberg.
Right, because like to say like, well, you'll be publicly executed for supporting. I mean, he must have just the worst nephew or whatever. Like somebody is really getting his goat, but like, he's obviously being hyperbolic, right? The guy, of course, the guy who owns the hat store does not think people are actually being publicly executed. But I don't know. He's just a fucking snowflake. Is my point. You know what I mean? And it's. Ugh, you hate to see it.
Fucking snowflake with a hat store in Nashville.
This is making their hat store billboards and whining about their yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Dork shit for sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's our show. Thank you all so much for coming to Get Better. If you are trying to find us, you can. Oh, whoa, shit.
All right. You forgot that I have to do this.
Oh, right. Okay, now, get it, and then I'll layer my voice over it.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna fade it up. All right.
Well, anyway, that's our show. Thank you all so much for coming to Get Better. If you want to find more of our content, you can find us on Instagram at Get Better Podcast. It's at get_better_podcast. You can also find us on YouTube with just search Get Better Podcast, and you will find our full episodes as well as clips you can send around to people. And if you want to reach out to us, you can find us at meetthefockers2 fockedup@gmail.com. That is meetthefockers2 fockedup@gmail.com. And that's all I have. So see you guys next week.
All right. See you bye forever.
See you bye forever.
Oh, right. That